So rookie minicamp.
It's in the books.
Everybody showed up, right?
Everybody showed up.
They didn't have an EPB out for anybody?
No major injuries. They didn't have to go hunting for anyone.
Right.
They even got a couple guys signed beforehand.
Nothing to do with the Strongsville Police Department or anything?
Not that we know of yet. So all clear after this first camp.
All right, you said to me that this is a little different kind of a camp. It's obvious when you hear what you say, so tell everybody what you meant.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the last 2 years. You had Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward showing up last year. The year before that, you had a whole bunch of draft picks that were brought in. The year before that, you had 14 draft picks that were brought in. This year was pretty quiet. Your top pick was a second rounder, a cornerback. There wasn't a lot of buzz around these guys. It was sort of a kind of a get-to-know these guys kind of situation when they brought them all out on Friday morning.
The biggest thing is finding out names like Taki-Taki and Greedy Williams.
Yeah, you got Taki-Taki, Greedy Williams, donnie-lewis. I bet a lot of people forgot about donnie-lewis, their 7th-round pick. We got to talk to him. So it's learning about these guys and putting faces to names.
What observations did you have after actually being there and watching what was going on?
Well, Greedy looks like a taller corner. That's
6'2".
sort of, that's what he was brought in as. And sometimes you see those measurements and you think, okay, this guy's taller. This is what you want. But then you see the guy and maybe he doesn't look as big as you thought. Greedy looked tall enough. He might need to put on a little weight. He had a rough day on Friday, got beat deep a couple times, but I thought he recovered well on Saturday. And this camp isn't about performance necessarily. It's just about getting these guys in and getting them used to the system.
You said he got beat twice. Who was the quarterback at the time?
That's a great question.
You don't remember?
2 guys that won't be on the team. I know it might have been David Bluff who was brought in
from Purdue.
Yeah, from Purdue.
Yeah, you keep if you're a good player and you know you're going to make the team. John Dorsey is one of the all-time greats, but when you look at what he does, he'll bring a guy in and he's gone 2 days later. And is that a good impression, bad impression on players as they go back to their schools, or doesn't it matter at all?
I think it's just the nature of the NFL. You're going to churn that roster all through the season. During the season, it's the bottom of the 53. Now you've got 90 guys on your roster, and you're just trying to find 1 or 2 guys that might have a shot during camp to maybe make that 53.
Yeah, we've seen on many occasions they bring in a guy on Tuesday and he's starting on a Sunday.
Yeah, so sometimes a guy gets hurt, or exactly. There were a few guys last year that fell into that category.
Yeah. So overall, with Freddie Kitchens in his first assignment actually on the field as head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Mary Kay told me today that he was walking back and forth, kind of overseeing everything, which is what you want him to do.
Yeah, he was, and even when the offense was on the field, and he's the play caller, obviously, but you could tell he wasn't just out there calling plays. He didn't have the play card in front of him the whole time.
Which is why he probably shouldn't be calling plays and being head coach.
Maybe.
Not just him, but anybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough assignment.
Yeah.
It's not crazy to say that maybe he should just focus on being a head coach. But Todd Monken, I thought, was really active, too, running around. Looked a little bit like Al Saunders used to in practice, running around, covering guys. So I think he's going to be a real asset for Kitchens.
Yeah, we've had several different styles of coaching as a new coaching staff comes in. Are they yellers? Are they quiet? Do they walk up to the players with a pat on the back? What are they doing?
I didn't hear much yelling,
okay.
But that could change when we get out there for OTAs, when you've got the full roster and you've got veterans. There was music. They were actually playing country music at the beginning, so you know that Freddie Kitchens was the one that was out there picking it. Yeah.
So he not only calls plays, he calls what music.
He handles the playlist. He handles that. He's got this. Maybe he doesn't need help calling plays. He's got everything under control, I guess.
All right, so I mean, can you make any observation about what you saw, or you just took it in and reported it?
You kind of just take it in because, again, this is the first taste for these guys of being in a camp setting and the NFL.
Besides Taki-Taki, who's going to have his name drawn attention to, what stood out? Is there anybody who stood out for you on the field?
Yeah, well, he looked very good. I saw Mack-Wilson a few times. Again, it's so weird to talk about camp. I just saw Mack-Wilson out there. He was active. He did some things.
Right.
I'm really curious about sheldrick-redwine. It's hard to judge a safety in a camp setting because sometimes they don't do anything.
Right.
But I'm really curious about how he'll do when they put the pads on in July because he's a hitter. He's a guy that can come up and make contact. I'm really curious about him.
It's a dumb question because these guys have waited all their lives to do that. Was everybody hustling?
It looked like it. Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. I didn't see anybody out there dogging things.
If they're not going to hustle here, then they're never going to.
Yeah, exactly. They'll get a call into John Dorsey's office pretty quick.
That's the call you don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
On draft night, you want the call from John Dorsey.
Yeah,
but
and then you don't want to get that call again for a long time. You want to pat on the back when you're walking out to the field, and then I don't want to see you again.